Welcome to the Digital DJ Tips Tuesday Tips Show for this Tuesday. It's November the 15th and we're talking about stems today. Stems DJing. This is DJing when you are separating in real time on your DJ gear the different musical elements. So this could be bass, drums, instruments, vocals, could be even more. Generally, it's going to be instruments and vocals, and it's something that is built into a lot of DJ gear nowadays. This is a piece of modern DJ gear, and it's got vocals, harmonics and drums written here right on the decal. It's one of the very few pieces of DJ gear that's actually got it written on and built into the gear, but this stuff is becoming more and more common. And so the reason we're talking about this right now is that Virtual DJ, one of the big DJ platforms of course, has just been in touch with us in the last day and said that they've added a second version of their stems. They've had it for a little while. They've updated it to version 2.0 and it's going to be coming in their 2023 version of their software. And they said, do you want to download and have a look at it? So we did. And I'll talk to you more about that in a minute, but that's why this is back on the agenda, because this is actually moving very fast. It's an area that's moving very fast. So before we actually move on to looking at which is the best system, what systems are out there, whether you should be dabbling in this, I've got some summaries of what we think about the state of play with the three big players, and also some questions that people ask all the time. So before we move on to all of that, why use stems DJing as it's called? Well, there's lots of reasons. To start with, DJing is fun on new equipment, right? Anything that's new, anything that's interesting is going to be just fun. So why wouldn't we? It's curious, it's something new to play with. But past that, DJs have always wanted acapellas, right? DJs have always wanted to get their hands on the versions of the music that they can then use in their mixing. It could be an instrumental, could be an acapella, could be a dub version. They've always wanted to get their hands on this stuff, and it's always been very hard. So if nothing else, DJ software with built-in stems allows DJs to get access to those acapellas instantly. There you go, there's the acapella you've always wanted. In itself, that's a strong enough reason for this to be really, really big news for DJs. And then if you dial in instrumentals, versions where you've taken away the music and so on, you can see that this is going to be a lot of fun for a lot of DJs. It gives you the chance to real-time remix your music. So you can very, very easily make mashups and re-edits and so on when you can take out the vocals or just add the vocals to something else. When you add it into something called fuzzy key mixing, and fuzzy key mixing is something we talk about a lot over on Digital DJ Tips. It's a term that we invented many years ago for the way we teach key mixing. When you add it into fuzzy key mixing, which is a method of making any track work with any other track in key, which is a holy grail for DJs. So when you combine fuzzy key mixing, and by the way, this is an article over on Digital DJ Tips you can find by just searching fuzzy key mixing Digital DJ Tips to read up about this. When you combine that with real-time stems, you've got the opportunity to hear something in your head and say, that'd go really well with that. And instantly dial them into your DJ software and just do it. And that really is a holy grail of digital DJing, or DJing full stop. The ability to combine those two things, real time, take the parts of the songs you want, and then matching them in key no matter what they are. You can, if you're a musician, if you're a creative-minded DJ, you're probably already thinking, yep, I get it now. But even if you're not, honestly, as soon as you start playing, it will make sense to you. So this is why stems are important. And the reason we're talking about them now, as I said, is that Virtual DJ has just announced Virtual DJ 2023, which has got a new stems engine in it. Now, one thing we cannot show you, it's almost like, does anyone old enough to remember the top 40 in the United Kingdom in the late 1970s? I am, and I'm not scared to admit it. They used to do the American chart in the United Kingdom, and they used to say, we cannot play you this song for contractual reasons, right? And they couldn't play anything that was in the American charts. It's kind of the same in streaming. This is a live stream. If you're watching the recording, it was actually live. It's kind of the same in streaming now. I cannot play you any records, any music now, because this stream will get taken down instantly, which is crazy. So I cannot demonstrate the stems, but I don't want you to not see them in action, and I don't want you to not see a comparison between the big systems we're about to talk about. So right up front, I'm going to give you this URL, djtips.co/stems. We've put a video on there of me demoing the 3 systems I'm about to talk about for you, so you can hear which one sounds best. So that's the URL to go to. I'll give it to you again at the end. It's also in, if you're watching the recording, it's also in the description of this video. But just so you know, we've got a video that will demonstrate these to you. Right, okay. So how do you do it? How do you use this thing if you want to? Well, there's 3 systems, as I've been saying. There is the original, the OG, Djay Pro AI from Algorithm. Djay Pro AI is a piece of software which introduced this concept, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago. It's certainly quite a while ago. This is Djay Pro AI. And this area here is the stems area of the software. You can see we've got drums, bass, harmonics, and vocals. And this is basically how it works. You can click on and off and you can dial these things in or out of your mix. And there's various settings in there, which we're going to look at again in a second. So there's Djay Pro AI. Now, a day after Djay Pro AI added this, Virtual DJ added stems. And Virtual DJ were therefore another OG, right, literally at the same time. This is like a year or 2 ago. Now, just a few weeks ago, Serato also added stems to its software. Now, Serato doesn't have stems in its kind of like main version yet, but it is in Serato's beta or beta version of its stems. So this is kind of the latest software company to kind of go for it. And so that kind of makes it pretty universal, because Serato is like 35% of the market. So Serato is 35%, Virtual DJ is about 10-15%, Djay Pro AI just a smaller amount. But add all those up, more than half of DJs using digital DJ software now have got access to stems. So since Serato added it back in the beginning of October, it is now almost mainstream, because this is only beta or beta software at the moment, but it is coming. And that means that it's no longer a fringe thing. And there's our tutor, Jazzy Jeff, saying how much stems is going to change DJing forever. And he's quite right. So this has kind of gone mainstream since Serato added it. But now Virtual DJ has said, okay, here is our 2023 version of our software, and this one contains Stems 2.0. So Virtual DJ has said, right, this is our second go. We've done the first go, we're going to have another go at it. And their software now has Stems 2.0 in it, and that's what we've been testing here at Digital DJ Tips for the last couple of days, and that is what is included in this. So in this video here, which you're going to look at after this one, because I'm going to tell you some useful information that goes beyond sound quality right now, so don't skip away there just yet. But in this video, I take Virtual DJ Stems 2.0 from Virtual DJ 2023, literally came out a day ago, on early access. It's not even the main version yet. I take Serato Beta, Serato 3.0 stems, their first go at stems, which again came out reasonably recently. And so that's maybe a few weeks, maybe a month old. And I also take Djay Pro AI, which hasn't had an update yet. It's still the original one from a year or 2 ago. And we look at them from an audio quality perspective, and I take a dance song, a hip hop song, and a rock song, and we look at them together. So that's a really good exhaustive test of where we're at with the quality of stems, and that's on that URL there. So that is what's available to you on that other video, which again, we can't show you live because we'll get taken off. It's lame, I know, but that's truth. So what I want to do now for the rest of this live video is 2 things. One, I want to give you our summary of where we think we're at with stems, with ease of use, flexibility, compatibility, and sound quality. And then I also want to answer a couple of questions which are always asked about this whenever we talk about it. And then for the rest of today's live show, it's over to you. Your questions. Looking forward to talking to you about stems and answering anything I can. So there's an article that accompanies this. If you're watching the recording of this, the link's underneath, so you can see all this written up there as well as get access to all the videos. Right, so which stems is actually best? So we have looked at them all from the point of view of sound quality. I'm not going to tell you which is best. That is the place to find that out. I'll leave that as a little teaser for you to go and look at afterwards. So sound quality, I'm not going to tell you about. But let's talk about everything else: compatibility, flexibility, and ease of use. So we'll start off with flexibility. In other words, how much can you actually do How many things can I change? How much can I dial it into the way I want to DJ? How much has been given to me to take control of the stems on my particular DJ platform? And our three, from number 3 to number 1 here. So number 3 is Serato. Serato is very inflexible. It literally just gives you what you get. And that is Serato's way. It's always been Serato's way with a lot of its features. It's not a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It just is what it is. And so you just have the ability to turn on and off stems, the 4 they give you, which is bass, drums, instruments, and a cappella. And that's it. It works, simple, job done. So as far as flexibility goes, Serato is kind of at the back there, but I think it's kind of deliberate. Now, the next up, if you like, as far as what you can do, is Algorithm's DJ Pro AI. So in DJ Pro AI, you do get a little bit of flexibility. So you have here, you can see on my screen, I'm just moving my mouse pointer around drums, bass, harmonics, and vocals. And you can actually dial this right back to just instrumental and a cappella if you want. And a few other options here as well. Or you can have drums, harmonics, and vocals, or you can have drums, bass, harmonics, and vocals. And you can also have this, as I've shown you, mapped to controls on your DJ gear. Vocals, harmonics, and drums on this little reloop controller that I've got here in the studio today. And also it's on the pads as well. So with the implementation from Algorithm, you've got the ability to dial them in using actual faders or just on or off using pads. And this is this little controller here, the reloop controller I've got in front of me. Is it called the Buddy? Yeah, it's the Buddy. This has actually got it on the decal. There's very few DJ controllers that have got it on the hardware, but this is one of them. So Algorithm gives you a little bit more there that you can play with. But number 1 for flexibility for sure is Virtual DJ. This is the opening screen of Virtual DJ 2023. Look, equalizer controls. You can set your graphic equalizer, or rather graphic equalizer, you know what I mean, your equalizer above your line levels to all kinds of stuff. You've got modern EQ where you've got kick, melody and vocals and hi-hats. You've got full stems, bass, kick, vocals, hi-hats and instrumental. You can map these across. So for instance, if you're using a Pioneer DJ M900, you could use 2 channels for DJing and map all these things across all the EQs, even on channels that weren't the ones that you're actually DJing on. Excuse me. So it's very, very flexible what you can do in Virtual DJ, more flexible than anything else. And they give you 5 stems, bass, kick, vocals, hi-hat and instruments, which is more than anyone else. So as far as pure flexibility and power goes, Virtual DJ is the winner in flexibility. Okay, so we're talking about the best stems, which ones cut it and which ones maybe are wanting in various areas. So flexibility, Serato, cheap and cheerful. Well, cheap and cheerful is absolutely the wrong thing to say. Serato is what it is, not too much to control, nice and simple. DJ somewhere in the middle, Virtual DJ lets you do everything. Maybe we should move on to ease of use next, because as you might imagine, with all that flexibility and all that mapping and all that ability to get under the bonnet, Virtual DJ in our summary of the 3 platforms is at the bottom of ease of use. It's just fiddly, it's difficult, it's something that if you're techie, if you're prepared to get under the bonnet, if you're prepared to actually read the instruction manual and learn about it and get on the forums, you will love. But if you just want it to work, you might find it frustrating. So Virtual DJ is at the bottom of our ease of use. Algorithm's DJ Pro AI is there in the middle because it's quite nicely done, but there are a few things that could trip you up. And Serato, being the simplest, is at the very top. Serato is very, very easy to use. And I believe that most DJs will not struggle with the way Serato has implemented it. So Serato is our winner for ease of use. What about compatibility? What about the hardware it works with? What about the software side of it? Well, for compatibility, at the bottom of the pile is Algorithm's DJ Pro AI. And the reason for that is DJ Pro, and this is a DJ Pro AI controller. The reason for that is quite simple. Algorithm's DJ Pro AI software, yes, it works on iPad and iPhone. It's the only stems separation software that does, but it's only Apple, and Apple is a minority of the market. Windows has more users than Mac OS, and Android has more users than iOS. And DJ Pro AI with stems, with neural mix, which is their word for stems, is only available on Apple gear. So that immediately means that it is the least compatible of all of them. You need to be using Apple gear to use their software. The second is Serato. Now Serato, oh, and by the way, before we go any further, let's talk about hardware with Algorithm's DJ Pro AI. Algorithm doesn't make hardware. There's very few controllers like this one that are made for Algorithm's hardware. And even though Algorithm does make it reasonably easy to map their software, and even though they do map quite a lot of hardware, they are lagging behind Virtual DJ on that. So another reason why we've put it at the bottom of our list of compatibility. So second, when it comes to stems compatibility, is Serato. Serato is currently in beta, which means it doesn't work on a lot of equipment, but when they launch it properly, which will be, I'd imagine, at the end of this year, beginning of next year, it's probably going to work with nearly all Serato controllers, which is great. It will just work. They've been clever in the way they've mapped it. So in the Serato software, you get a chance to decide how you control it from the software. So in the preferences, there is a place where you can say, what do I want to use in place of, or what do I want to replace with stems? So I think it's here in the library and display functions, or maybe it's in DJ preferences. It says, what do I want to replace stems with? And it gives you a choice. Where is it? It might be in Mixer, actually. No, it's not in Mixer. Must be here somewhere. I can't see it for the very moment. It's funny because I changed it a second ago. But anyway, I replaced my sampler functions on my Serato controller. Maybe it's because I haven't got a controller plugged in. That's what it is. So basically I say, no, I don't want to use the sampler on my pads. And you tell Serato, I'll use that for stems. One touch, it works. It's there, it's working fine. And so that's pretty compatible. It's pretty easy to use. But Serato doesn't work on all hardware, so Serato kind of loses a star there. You can't plug all hardware in and use Serato stems because it's got to be Serato compatible. So Serato for compatibility, out of the three, DJ Serato and Virtual DJ is our number 2. And our number 1 for compatibility is Virtual DJ, because Virtual DJ famously works with anything. I guarantee you if you plug that into Virtual DJ, it will work. I guarantee you if you plug this into Virtual DJ, he says, picking up something at random, it will work. Virtual DJ works with everything, and I also guarantee you their stems will work with everything. So from compatibility's point of view, Virtual DJ wins. So we've looked at ease of use. Serato is easiest to use. Virtual DJ is the hardest to use. Flexibility. Virtual DJ is the most flexible, Serato is the hardest. And compatibility, so Virtual DJ is going to work with everything. DJ Pro is at the end of that list. And what else? Sound quality. And because I'm a tease, I can't reveal that to you without you actually hearing it for yourself, because I want you to make your mind up before we reveal what we think. There is a video to go and watch afterwards. It's a quick 10-minute video of which 8.5 minutes is literally me just playing 3 songs, a dance track, a hip hop track and a rock track in all 3 platforms, and you can hear for yourself. I've used a cappella and instrumental and shown you how it works with separating those things. So do go and watch that afterwards, but don't do it just yet, because I want to talk stems with you here now. We've got lots and lots of comments coming in about this, and there'll be some interesting questions there. So, to sum up the training, this is a rapidly developing area and a very exciting area. So it seems like every month there's a new development in stems, and every month the sound quality overall across the platforms increases. So look for big changes in this area here. One big question mark about stems is whether preparation is the real win here, like the ability to just get a cappellas and then work with them. And when it comes to your gigs, actually you're not going to mess with the stems controls, you're just going to dial in the a cappella and DJ with it. Or whether DJs are going to really go for this and start experimenting live with these things. I'm not sure about that. I think the big win could be the preparation. I think the big win could just be getting access to a cappellas or making your own instrumentals and stuff. I might be wrong there, we'll have to see. Another question we get asked a lot, when is Rekordbox going to get this stuff? Because of course when Rekordbox gets it, that's it, all the big platforms have got it. We don't know about that. I mean, I can't tell you about that, simply no idea at the moment. But it is rapidly developing, it's a rapidly moving area. For instance, if we look at the timeline of stems, it started off with Algorithm's DJ Pro AI. It was only on Apple equipment. Then Virtual DJ arrived, it was suddenly on all equipment. Then Serato came into the game just recently, and Serato's big thing, of course, has always been hardware. Serato are teasing hardware from Rain, which has clearly got stems controls on it, built into the hardware in the same kind of way that this has, but even more so because this is high-end Rain hardware and it looks like it's got an awful lot of clever stuff built into it. So with hardware, and of course the second that Rekordbox builds it in and it will be available on Pioneer hardware, that will kind of be game, set and match for stems going mainstream. So it is developing very quickly. Right, before you scuttle off and have a look at this video, which I do recommend you go and look at, where we actually play you these stems on all 3 platforms and you find out which one sounds the best, let's do some of your comments and questions and queries. And as ever, we've got pages and pages and pages of your queries coming in and your questions and your hellos, which I absolutely love. So thank you, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, everyone who is chatting. We're going to spend the rest of our time together today talking through this. If you're watching the recording, go watch those stems demos on the other video, link underneath, or hang around and hear what the audiences say. Hi Martin, hi Mixmaster G, and You Don't Like My Music, and Blake, and David, and Noof, and Paul, and LP Remix, and Keshia. Hello everyone, Kevin, and Robert, and DJ Popper Al. Right, so this is the feedback you're giving me live on stems. This is from DJ Popper, who says Serato Stems is not yet stable. It keeps crashing. Do not use it live. Well, it is still in early beta, so you'd expect that. Thank you for that feedback. Hello to Benedict, who says, afternoon, Phil. I've been blown away by the stems in the early release of Virtual DJ. So there's a vote for Virtual DJ there. See what we think by watching that video there afterwards. djtips.co/stems. Hello to Djay Panade on Twitch over there in France. I wonder when Rekordbox is going to add it. Yeah, as we said, Blake, we just don't know yet when Rekordbox will be adding stems. You can get really creative with stems, says You Don't Like My Music. Or so I've heard. I don't use them. A lot of people don't use them yet. So it does take the resource requirements to a whole new level, says Mixmaster G. Indeed, this is talking specifically about Virtual DJ. So Virtual DJ's new stems needs a lot more of the processing power of modern computers. And indeed, Virtual DJ have said if you don't want to use that, you can just dial back to our old ones, which are very fast and don't need a lot of processing power. So it's always going to be a toss-up between processing power and you know, the quality of what you get. Actually, something else is worth pointing out here. A lot of people use standalone DJ gear. Pioneer DJ gear, like this stuff we got over in the corner here, a classic Pioneer CDJs and DJM setup. But a lot of people also use Denon DJ's engine gear. I held up a Denon DJ engine controller earlier, the Numark Mixstream Pro, but of course there's, an engine DJ controller, but also Denon DJ. They all use this Numark one, and Denon all use engine DJ. The thing that happens with DJ gear and DJ equipment is, as soon as software gets a new feature, hardware falls behind, like standalone hardware that doesn't need a laptop. So this gear, this stuff even, the kind of legacy, not legacy, but the kind of industry standard that always moves slower than the innovators, but also the engine gear, had almost caught up with software, almost got everything. It got all the real-time analysis, it got key shifting, it got all the pad stuff. The only thing really missing was the sampler, until real-time stems came along. And now, who's going to be the first company to launch a standalone unit, i.e. that doesn't need a laptop that can do real-time stems? We will see, but there's now clear water between software and laptop DJ and DJing with standalone, because only software DJing has stems. Okay, so I think I would plan my stems mixing, says LP Remix, prior to a set rather than throwing them in on the fly. It could get messy if you get it wrong. This is something that we are kind of like in two minds about, and I think you could well be right there. I know my pal Mojax is of that opinion. Mojax believes that because with the EQs, right, you know what's going to happen. You turn the bass EQ down, the bass goes away. You turn the treble up, the treble dials in. But on stems, you're not sure what's going to happen because it might be a bit different on every song. And so, yeah, I think you could have something there. We'll have to see how DJs take this into their workflow. And obviously we've got Rain gear coming. They've got this little example here from Reloop for Algorithms gear. There is gear coming out with stems control. The manufacturers are trying to make it so that DJs can find it like not too daunting to do this live. But we will see. We don't know at the moment. So I'm trying not to sound like an old fogey, says DJ Stu C. Yeah, I know where you're at there, DJ Stussy. I try and do it all the time, failing a lot of the time, I would guess. It was loads better in the vinyl days because they actively pushed out white labels. Everyone's talking about copyright here and the fact that we can't play the music on this stream, because if we do play you Streams music, this stream will get taken down. Stems music, this stream will get taken down. And people are discussing copyright, saying, why can't the companies understand that DJs are their best friends? I know, I don't think it's just something that's never going to be solved, I don't think, certainly in our lifetime. Blake says, I'll probably only use stems for drum and bass mash-ups. Djay Panade instantly says, did you say drum and bass? We do have our hardcore drum and bass fans here. I'd like to add that with Virtual DJ on a 4-channel mixer, you can have the inside channel EQs traditional and the outside channel stems, or vice versa. That's exactly what I was saying a minute ago, wasn't it? With the Pioneer gear over here. I need to get a camera over this. I've got a lovely Pioneer setup here. It all works, it all comes through the system, but you can hardly see it. I'll get a camera over there soon, so we can go over here and we can start talking about this stuff. But yes, of course, if you're DJing with 2 channels, but you've got 4 channels on your mixer, you can then map the other EQs, because in a way you've got lots of EQs you're not using, to give you both traditional EQ and stems EQ. So thank you for sharing that. LP Remix, anything that gives DJs more creativity is definitely a positive, and flexibility is definitely a positive. Stan says, I'm loving the new Virtual DJ. The update really works, but boy, does it make your system burn if it's using older hardware. Matt Kite says, I picked up a cheap Reloop Buddy to play with live stems, and I find that the Reloop software, the DJ software, has a lot of artifacts in the stems vocals. I use RipX to create excellent stems offline and then use them in my software instead. And RipX, says Mixmaster G, in agreement there, is still the best sounding, but Virtual DJ Stems 2 is really getting close. Anyway, talking about audio quality with stems, this is something which I want you to now go and find out for yourself. We have spent a little bit of time today with the new Virtual DJ software that has just come out in an early beta. It's this software you can see on the screen here. And we've been playing with the stems feature down here. It dials in down here, you dial in the stems, and then you get all your stems controls down here. For some reason that didn't dial in then. There we go, there's all the stems controls. So we've been playing with that, but we've also been playing with Serato. And we've also been playing with Algorithm. And we have given you our definitive which is best. And that is now over on the pre-recorded video on YouTube, where we know it's copyright cleared and we're not going to get it taken down. Well, touch wood. It's there, djtips.co/stems. So do go and take a look at that and let us know underneath that video what you think about the results we found. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Have we done something wrong in our methodology? Do share with us. It's really a fun area of DJing, and it's an area that's developing quickly, so it's been a joy to share our thoughts on it at the moment with you. And this week, where Virtual DJ has announced its Stems 2.0, Serato has recently announced it's getting into that game, and Algorithm's DJ Pro AI is the 3rd player there at the moment. Thank you very much for watching us live here today. From me, Phil, in the studio, all that's left to say is get good, get out there, make the moments, and we'll see you again on another Tuesday Tips, same time next week, 3 p.m. London, 10 a.m. Eastern. I'm back on Thursday for our Thursday Q&A live again at the same time. Until then, get good, get out there, make the moments. Bye for now.